Okay, so we finished off with Class AB.
Yes.
Now, Joe, before we start talking Class D, we got to get something out of the way. Mm-hmm. Does Class D mean digital?
No. It never has, never will. It's not digital.
Can you say it again, please?
No, it never has, never
Okay.
will be. It's not digital. We might get there someday, but we do not have a digital amplifier start to finish at this point. Because at some point it has to be rectified back into analog audio. So, you know, it's not fully digital. You could argue that amplifiers with DSPs in them that do an A to D at the beginning and all the way to the output stage, they're pretty digital. Like
every analog to digital converter.
Yeah, happens at the front, right when RCAs come in, we turn it into digital, and we have some amps that are like that.
Yeah.
And from that point on, the signal is I2C or I2S. So it's I2S, goes all the way across, gets into the DSP, comes out of the DSP, and then goes to the amplification stage digitally. But when it hits the Class D amplification stage, it gets converted into a PWM signal, which, yes, PWM can be used for digital communications in some cases, but in the case of a Class D amplifier, that is not what it's being used for. So no, not digital.
Thank you,
not
Joe,
digital.
for clearing that up.
It's being used to carry audio. It is not digital.
So what is Class D then?
Class D amplifiers are a little interesting. They, unlike tube A, B, C, AB, all those amplifiers are, I'm losing my word right now, are basically always biased, always on. Those amplifiers are always draining some power. There's always, on the output section, current draw happening.
So with no music, they're still drawing current.
They're still drawing current out there. There's still, the FETs are slightly on.
Okay.
Right? There's always some biasing happening to keep that stuff switched. And so you always have this current draw going on. With Class D, they use a PWM with a control signal and normally, either external or internal feedback loop to only turn the devices on when they're needed to be on. And that's how you get your efficiency out of a Class D amp.
Okay.
I don't want to dig too deep into the path of how that goes because there's a bunch of different Class D controllers.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different ways to do it. But basically, you're taking a signal, you're turning it into either a square wave or a triangle wave, putting a feedback signal around the chip, and on the other side, that triangle wave comes out as a square wave, and then we rectify it back into an audio signal through basically a low-pass filter.